Hey, this is Rob. I just wanted to make a little video talking about, I've been listening into some things today, talking about having a good conscience toward God, and one of the clearest verses that I thought of on this, and it seems like a key thing in the Bible that all of us are exhorted towards, is 1 Timothy 1 verse 5. And it says that the end of the commandment is love out of a pure heart and of a clear conscience and faith. And I'm just going to read it real quick. Let's see. Taking a little while to get there, so it says, this is Paul writing to Timothy, and it says, now the end of the commandment is love out of a pure heart and of a good conscience and of faith unfeigned. And it says, from which some, having swerved, have turned aside unto vain jangling. So they turned away from that and went to something called vain jangling, which was not a good thing. And then 1 Timothy 1, 18 and 19 says, this charge I commit unto thee, son Timothy, according to the prophecies which pointed to thee, that thou by them mightest war a good warfare. And I think he's talking about the warfare there as being over the course of his entire life, fighting the fight of faith, the good fight of faith, and it being something at the end where he could say, like Paul, I fought a good fight, I finished my course, I kept the faith. So it's over his entire lifetime doing this thing, and of walking in love and of a good conscience and faith, that he needs to do that over his entire lifetime, that it's not a little 6-day battle, but it's a war over the course of his lifetime. That's the Christian life. And verse 19 says, holding faith and a good conscience, which some, having put away concerning faith, have made shipwreck. So some people put away this good conscience concerning their faith, and it's caused them to shipwreck, whatever that means is not a good thing. I don't want to do it. But I just wanted to give 3 quick verses on 1 Timothy 1:5. It's the pure heart, good conscience, and faith. And all of it's love, which I think the best example of love is if you read about the life of Jesus in John, just what all he's done for us, what all he did while he walked on the earth for people. Everything he did was, his motivation was for other people and to help others. He wasn't thinking of himself. He came to help others. He came to be our salvation. It says that while we were sinners, Christ died for us. And he lives today, and he lives to intercede for us and to help us. But the pure heart in Matthew chapter 5, first couple of verses, it says, blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. So it seems like it's an important thing for me to walk with a pure heart, because I'm going to be able to see more of who God is. He's going to reveal himself to me. If I'm intentionally walking in unpure things, and God's merciful and he's good, and he might reveal something, but I need a desire to walk with a pure heart. And Psalm 119 verse 9 says, how can a young man cleanse his way? By taking heed according to your word. Then verse 11 says, your word have I hidden in my heart, that I might not sin against you. So I think the way that I can have a pure heart is through God's word, taking heed to it, obeying it, hiding it in my heart. That's going to help me. And then a good conscience. I was looking at some verses about that a while ago. The good conscience. I'm just going to say, you can read Acts 24:16 is a good verse about Paul's life. Hebrews 13:18 is a good verse, but I'm going to read this one in 1 Corinthians 8, because the whole context there seems like it has to do with knowledge that you have about God or about something that He says, and then how you apply that knowledge in the context of there's other people that may not know that same thing that you know, or may not have the same faith. So 1 Corinthians 8 verse 7, read the whole thing, the whole chapter to get the context. But verse 7 says, however, there is not in every man that knowledge. For some with conscience of the idol unto this hour eat it as a thing offered unto an idol, and their conscience being weak is defiled. And then for faith, I wanted to read in John chapter 4, and I was really, really encouraged by this today. It's a good picture of faith, and it's let's see, John chapter 4 verse 46, starting there. It says, so Jesus came again into Cana of Galilee, where he made the water wine. And there was a certain nobleman whose son was sick at Capernaum. When he heard that Jesus was come out of Judea into Galilee, he went unto him and besought him that he would come down and heal his son, for he was at the point of death. Then said Jesus unto him, except ye see signs and wonders, ye will not believe. This nobleman saith unto him, Sir, come down before my child dieth. Jesus saith unto him, Go thy way, thy son liveth. So Jesus told him 6 words, and just those 6 words, he went back to his house. Jesus didn't go with him. He asked him to go back with him. Jesus told him 6 words, and then the guy went by himself without Jesus. And it says, and the man believed the word that Jesus had spoken unto him, and he went his way. So he asked Jesus to go with him. Jesus told him 6 words. Go thy way, thy son liveth. He believed him, and he went back by himself. And we have record here that what Jesus said he was going to do, he did. But he did not see that. That guy just believed what Jesus said before he saw the result of it. So, and because of that, he acted and went back expecting to see his son healed. And these guys met him before he got back and told him about it, which is a neat picture of faith. And it says in verse 51, and as he was now going down, his servants met him and told him, saying, thy son liveth. And then it says, then inquired he of them the hour when he began to improve. And they said unto him, yesterday at the 7th hour the fever left him. So the father knew that it was at that same hour in which Jesus said unto him, thy son liveth. And he himself believed in his whole house. So anyway, I hope those are some good examples to encourage you. Because it says that the end of the commandment is love. So, and it's the way that we're supposed to love is with a pure heart, a good conscience, and faith. So I pray this would be a help to you to consider those things and to walk in it.